Hello, Sichtwede. Charming rascal from Osterholz, the undoubtedly beloved sprite of your hearts, and indeed says, Yee-haw. This is the Daisy. Red Ryder. Welcome to children's television. Well, not quite, right? This thing. It's the adult version of this, right? It's the adult model. Well, I'll just start by reading this thing. So on one side it says Daisy, and there in the bracket the F sign is engraved. Here in front, free instruction manual. Write Daisy in Rogers, Arizona. Zip code, in and up. This is the loading flap. You have to push it in, and then up, and then you can load balls in here. Steel round balls in an unspecified quantity. I don't know how many fit in, but certainly plenty. On the side, we have Red Ryder with 0.5 BB. BB is ball bearing, or also Googling GSG, and another F sign. Someone was probably a bit faster. Here we have some logo. Always underneath it says Daisy. But I am curious about what that strange logo is. Well, it looks like a licorice snail somehow. Anyway, probably wasn't important. And here we have a kilometer-long one. He was already dead when I found him. Yes, a kilometer-long serial number. I never bothered looking at what this strange lasso says here. Yes. Let's start with the wood. It is like this. Why do I still have this strange leather strap attached? It's silly anyway. This is a saddle ring. By the way, if you're wondering why this strange ring is rattling among all the wind chests, it's called a saddle ring, 2001. In the past, this was used to hang the weapon sideways on the body from a bandolier. This dates back to the time when the cavalry, specifically the Napoleonic cavalry with their muskets, went into battle. They didn't have a scabbard from which to draw them. Instead, they hung from a shoulder strap on the body and swung around. The horses must have loved that. So here we have a wooden stock. This is also real wood. Finest? Chinese? Beechwood? No idea. I must admit, the craftsmanship is superficial. So it's kind of like this. We take a board and cut something out, but I have to say everything is actually finished. It's not like with many Chinese shotguns I've seen, where there's some unprocessed part. Rather, it is actually finished everywhere. Whether this barrel ring here is made of brass or plastic, I honestly don't know. Can't determine that. Yes, there isn't much more to say about the wood. Everything else looks a bit rustic. The rattling of the ring also looks very rustic. 1,000 pieces of board, and then screw something with cross slots on it. The sight is spot welded, and corresponds roughly to the original. It's simply a spring sight with an adjustable step. I'm not sure if this is a stepped sight. I believe it's a special form of the spring sight. Oh, I just see there's something written on top as well. Isn't that nice? Can't read it because of this somewhat, or there's even a lot written. Warning, misuse may cause serious injury, particularly to the eye, for use by ages 10 and up. It's American, a wonderful country. Here in Germany, access to sports shooting is to be raised to 18, so the kids are no longer allowed as junior shooters. Thank you, Ms. Wieser. One is still working on it, and older with adult supervision is to become illegal in Germany. Please ensure that you carefully and thoroughly read the provided detailed operation manual before using. Oh, the Federal Republic of Germany. Those aged 18 and older have already been stamped for safety here. Oil. You can oil from the outside, so you don't have to disassemble anything. You can just pour oil in. 2001. Put on, save and go, blah blah blah. Also, for the Americana, the operating manual, Daisy. Wow, everything reflects here in all colors. No, I can't read it like that, to be honest. Let's use the magnifying glass again, maybe at an angle against the light. Dell 10988. No serial number? Right. I can hardly decipher it. I think if you shine a light from the right direction on what is probably lasered here, then there are nice contrasts. Maybe then it can be read somehow. But it doesn't matter. It's not important. Yes. It is supposed to have a rough model like that. I think a Winchester, 1888 or something, or possibly a paint gun, because the paint guns have very thick launch brackets here. The trigger itself is made of plastic. Everything around here is metal, but the trigger guard, the trigger itself, is made of plastic. Safety, this typical American safety, so a button to press in and press out again. A safety that only secures the trigger but not the system inside. In any way. Sight rail. For what? How does the whole thing work? As I said, you tilt a not specified amount of balls in here, and it's not click click, but it's about the same as cocking a pneumatic gun at the barrel. It takes a bit of energy, and it's the same here. Yes, you notice I am not worried that the muzzle energy could become too high or that the system could empty out. I don't care about that at all, really. So you know, cocking with the backhand, I honestly wouldn't recommend that. That's only for the very, very tough individuals. And you can see how the good piece holds. You can see I cut off too much again. This is also very uncomfortable to hold. I usually do it this way. I grip around the outside of the loop, then I can reach it much better here. Sights and the grip are actually quite okay. I've seen worse. So it actually works. And when you have so much ammunition in there, it's a long tube with ammunition. And then you can see somewhere, here I believe, at the front, you can always see through this opening that there is a metal pellet inside. Also here, like back then at the Iana Oktoberfest, I advise to shoot a few times empty if necessary, to ensure it's empty, because there is still one in there. Even if you can't see anything anymore, or are firmly convinced that everything has been removed. Definitely shoot again. When reloading, the thing must of course point upwards. The pellets can't roll back. That doesn't matter, because it doesn't bother me anyway when you have to do it from below. Yes, and I have noticed that although it's such a silly thing, it is still fun. Of course you don't hit anything, but I shot again at 10 meters. And 10 meters is definitely too much for this piece here. Yes, here is one. So here are the ones on this target that hit the target at 10 meters. It doesn't have to look so bad. I use open sights visually. I dislike optics unnecessarily. Yes, so it shoots, I would say, not much less accurately than any other steel BB gun. They have a smooth barrel, and then the pellets are pushed through a smooth barrel. So, what actually comes out at the other end? Let's take a look. So, Daisy Red Ryder. I got it used at Egan for $69 niche gold coins, and the new price is around $100 thousand. As usual, plus or minus, depending on who you get it from. A certification. Certification. Registration with the PTB since 2018. I also got the original box with it. That's always nice. And yes, I forgot to enter the muzzle energy here, but I checked it again anyway. So it's around 1.3, maybe 1.2, occasionally 1.4 joules. So basically like with cheaper air pistols. For the Americans, it's a children's shotgun. For here in Germany, it's for young adults. Yes. Is there anything else to mention? So, rear sight and front sight, and the image is actually quite okay. It's a rear sight, still okay for her. The post-front sight is also fine. I don't find this somewhat rustic appearance, which indicates high-quality craftsmanship, tragic. As long as it works, it doesn't matter at all. It can be ugly for all I care. This is oil that has oozed out. Why is it actually so bumpy? No idea. Whatever. Thought from here the nose had some paint residue left over from painting, but it was just oil. Yes, it's practically new. The previous owner apparently didn't do much with it, which is understandable. You have to be a bit special to really enjoy using this thing. But when you get your hands on such things, it's definitely fun. All good. So for fun, you can definitely have a good time with 5mm target boxes. Shooting at targets is just limited in interest. Do I have anything else that one would say, wow, that should definitely be mentioned? As a conclusion, I would say, it is definitely fun. That's really the best thing you can say about it. You can have fun with these things. It's not overly cheap, it's not overly beautiful, it's not overly elegant. Hanging it in the display case will only get you laughs. It's fun to use for smashing around. 11 minutes 25. I didn't have much to say. 2001. Then I would say, I did that, I did that, I did that. Yes. I would say, that's enough again. Then I will complain at this point, as expected, that I have to turn off my camera all by myself, and would say, we will see each other again in the next video. It can't be long, knowing myself. Yeah, well, would. And until next time, I will decide something again. I must have forgotten something again. 2001.